I am happy that they are finally able to live out in the open. They still face a lot of discrimination, but I'm excited to see us hopefully moving forward and still continuing to moving forward. I'm a little worried given the new administration, but I hope that we will continue to move forward.
Do you know that about 9 to 49% of the LGBT community has either been denied a job or a promotion because of their sexuality?
Yes, I do know that they face a lot of discrimination solely based on that. It's unfair and unjust, and it needs to end.
Do you know that also the LGBT community has been harassed in either schools or their jobs while being there?
Yes, since I have studied literature, I know that homosexuality has existed basically since humans have existed. It is in all sorts of literature, and the idea that it has somehow started now is a myth. It is just another form of human sexuality.
You as a
the LGBTQ community is currently very discriminated against, very stigmatized, and I think it's very unfair. I think that we've come a long way in terms of civil rights for this group of people since maybe even the 1980s or so, but we've still got a long way to go in the United States, especially and in various places around the world where I think this group of people is still treated very unfairly, very discriminated against. It's still very stigmatized, and I feel like it'll take a long time to get rid of the cycle of stigma and the cycle of discrimination, just the same as it does with any other kind of discrimination.
Did you know that around 9 to 49% of the LGBT community has either been denied a job or a promotion because of their sexuality?
I did not know that. That's a very, very shocking and disheartening statistic to me. That's just outright discrimination, that people are able to deny jobs and employment and housing and things like that to people because of sexual orientation, which is I think that's very, very unfair and very unequal.
Do you support the LGBT community?
Yes, I do support the LGBTQ community.
How would you support it?
How do you
do anything? How would you help them out?
Well, part of I consider this part of my job as like a teacher, and specifically a social studies teacher, is I've got very diverse students, so not just students with different sexual orientations, students of different races and religions and things like that. So I think it's part of my job to make sure that all of my students end up being more tolerant of one another. So in terms of this particular group of people, like, it's not uncommon for me to hear disparaging remarks made about these groups of people, or it's not uncommon to hear like slurs that basically are slurs that get used pretty commonly, by people that don't understand what they're actually saying when they say it. And so for me, it's important that we kind of correct that, and if a student says something like that, I try to at least put it in their mind that what they're saying, that's harmful and that's hurtful and stigmatizing to certain groups of people.
Exactly. Let's say someone else has a different opinion, and then the LGBT themselves discriminate that opinion. Do you think that happens really often?
Like if they disagree with
Yes.
that? Sure, I do think that there probably is a lot of disagreement, but I definitely feel like it's not quite discrimination. I don't think that's the correct word. Like if somebody disagrees with the idea of homosexuality, or somebody says I should not have to hire people that are homosexual because it goes against my religious beliefs, I think that's discrimination. Like, this is a person's identity you're talking about. Like, this is not something they chose. Even, that's sort of a myth out there that this is a personal choice that people make. It's not something they chose. That's who they are. That's their identity. So I think there's discrimination against that. And I don't think a difference of opinion going the other way is discrimination.